bring you into their world. It's not just chickens and the Angus herd. So take off your boots, relax, and go beyond the ranch.
Hi guys, and welcome back once again to Be the Channel Beyond the Ranch. I'm Mike.
I'm Erin.
And this is our Wyoming Life, cruising right along and basically bringing you guys along as we explore the ranch life and escape the ordinary. Here on the Beyond the Ranch channel, it's a little bit different. It's a chance to sit down and just kind of kick back, relax a little bit. In fact, I remember as a kid, Mr. Rogers would come in, you know, every day, right? And he'd sing his little song and he'd come in and he'd always change shoes. Right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Remember that? Remember him always changing shoes?
When he put on like slippers or something?
Yeah, he'd put on slippers. And I think that our changing of the shoes should actually be the opening and the pouring of the drinks. Because
I'm having Henry's hard soda today.
Because we get 9 million questions every single time. This, you know, they say, "What are you drinking?" And this would alleviate a lot of that problem because then I wouldn't have to stop and explain to people what I was drinking, so they could actually see what it is, right? Except for in 8 minutes, somebody will ask me. Yeah, exactly. But I loved Mr. Rogers. Were you a Sesame Street kid or were you a Mr. Rogers kid? Because I definitely see there was a difference. Like there was Sesame Street kids. There was PBS kids, and then there was like the
kids
Disney
with
Channel.
Antennas.
Yeah, and then there was the Disney Channel kids, right? They were like, we watch the Electric Company, and I'm like, what the hell's the Electric Company? And they're like, oh, it's on Disney. You don't get Disney, so you don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
but go adjust your rabbit ears and watch Mr. Rogers with a little bit of fuzz. So that was me. I was a Mr. Rogers and a Sesame Street kid. Not so much Sesame Street, more Mr. Rogers.
We watched Sesame Street.
Really?
We had Disney occasionally.
Occasionally, when you could afford it, you had Disney. Yeah, I don't think we ever had Disney. I remember going over to a friend of ours from church or something.
Your camera angle.
What's wrong with my camera angle?
Did you want it on that camera angle?
What? Oh, I'm still on the wrong camera angle? Sorry. There we go. I remember going over to a friend's house from church, and they had the Disney Channel, and I was like, this is amazing. Yeah. Like, it would be like watching what we're doing and then watching somebody that actually really knows what they're doing. It'd be like, wow, this is really cool. They got like production value and like real narrators and, you know, and things like that. I was always really impressed. Which one had the Mickey Mouse Club?
That's a Disney.
That was Disney.
You're like down a weird.
I did take it down a weird path, but I'm sorry. But Mr. Rogers, man, reminds me of my childhood. I still haven't seen the Mr. Rogers movie with Tom Hanks. We have it. I haven't watched it yet. It's on Netflix or Prime or something or other, but I haven't seen it. Do you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Okay. Haven't watched it yet. Anyway.
I mean, Mr. Rogers, I'm exhausted.
You're exhausted. Why are you exhausted?
I planted 300 asparagus yesterday and today. I got rained out yesterday.
300? How much asparagus do you plan on getting from 300 asparagus plants?
I don't really know.
Does anybody have any asparagus?
I overestimated how many asparagus I could put in that space though, because I was going to do another 300 next year, but I'm out of room.
Yeah. Oof.
So I need another spot.
Another spot for asparagus?
Yeah, for next year.
We only have like 5,000 acres, so it's going to get narrow. We're going to either we're going to get out of the cattle business and go into the asparagus business. Could
it's like $4 a pound, man.
For asparagus.
Yeah.
How much asparagus could you move, though?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nobody's selling it. There's nobody in Campbell County selling asparagus. I locked up that market next year for 7 days. I got that market locked up.
And you don't put the asparagus in the high tunnel.
No. It's in between the high tunnels. I don't know that I really need another high tunnel.
I think you need a greenhouse.
Well, I mean, that's what I really want is a climate-controlled greenhouse, but they're a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
But if we keep going, like, because we have apple trees, if I just keep stacking up the high tunnels, like, eventually we're going to run into the orchard and the apple trees. So we have to stay away from those.
I think it's funny you call it an orchard. It's 10 trees.
Hey.
It's not an orchard. It's like a
6 trees.
It's 6 trees. It's like a what would be like one step down from an orchard? Because it'd be like
whatever. I can call it whatever I want. It's an orchard. I think I can sell all the asparagus that I can grow. Would you
as
guys?
long as people buy it, that's the problem.
Would you guys come buy asparagus if you live in Campbell County?
They wouldn't, because they live 400 miles away.
Some of them live here.
Very few. Very, very small percentage. We are not...
Fine, I'll make pickled asparagus.
That actually sounds really good. I would eat pickled asparagus. One thing that always blows people away, and I get this question all the time, is people are like, do people locally watch you and pay attention to what you're doing? But our customers do at the farm store. Like, it freaked me out this week. I went out and I was taking care of the farm store, and this gal was like, how is Goliath doing? And I was like, good. I didn't know she watched, so it kind of threw me off a little bit. But thank you, Mark, for the $1.99.
Thank you.
And there is one downside to asparagus. We all know what that is, but
Why are you scrolling back?
because there was another one from Mark here that I didn't thank him for. It was the $5 one for the Mr. Rogers movie. So, but yeah, it's weird to have people that you don't expect to watch. Local people, and occasionally they'll say something, and it's like, oh, you do pay attention a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's after asparagus? What's next?
I'm waiting on strawberries to come.
Strawberries. You're going to do strawberries too, and rhubarb.
And I planted rhubarb, and I have garlic and horseradish in there too, and black currant bushes.
There you go. And it's not running into your orchard at all. Your orchard isn't feeling crowded.
Oh, the orchard's farther away.
Are you going to expand the orchard, or is it going to get bigger?
Yeah, possibly, if I can get some trees to stay alive.
Yeah, we have a deer problem. No, it's not a deer problem. What
Well,
did
no,
kill
because the
trees?
deer did damage them before we got them fenced.
Oh.
So.
What else? It was like a frost or something that got
No,
them,
because
too.
the deer ate all the bark off the trees.
Oh, well, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
That would be a problem. All right, his journey has been very interesting.
Whose journey?
The armchair rancher. His journey has been very interesting.
You
The
need
armchair
context.
rancher.
You just.
I'm getting there. I'm leading into it. I'm setting the mood, right? Anyway.
I don't have blackberries. No. We're zone 4. It's hard to get blackberries that are zone 4.
Yeah, true.
There's a few.
So the armchair rancher. Let's talk about him for a second.
Okay.
The armchair rancher kind of took his story arc has actually kind of changed. He started mom's basement kind of thing, grew up from there. Actually, eventually made it to the ranch, where he's kind of been absent here for
I haven't done anything.
He hasn't done a dang thing here for the last month or so. He's been very. I don't know. He's just absent. Like, anytime there's work to be done, you can't find him anyway. But we thought we'd...
Hold on. Thank you, Miriam, for the $5 super chat. Thought today was Saturday, then BTR came on. Yeah, nobody knows what day of the week it is. It's cool.
We'll get into that here in a minute. But we thought we'd get this out of the way earlier. We finally have... the armchair rancher has broken his radio silence. And
Isn't it like his internet silence?
It might be, yeah. It's radio, internet. Well, technically, we have radio internet.
You're
so
too old.
We're... at least I didn't watch Howdy Doody. I watched Mr. Rogers.
Wrenching from his keyboard, he doesn't even have to move. He's the armchair rancher, and he already knows more than you.
Not yet. Hey gang, it's me, the Armchair Rancher, coming at you live from an undisclosed location. Look at... No, wait, dang it, Google Maps. Crap. Anyway, hey gang, it's me, the Armchair Rancher, coming at you live from an undisclosed location somewhere on the ranch where I'm hanging out and waiting out the coronavirus-19 thing. Because I just found out about this. Nobody told me. I came here to the ranch and everything was normal, right? Like, well, it was kind of like, honestly, I think people have been socially distancing from me my entire life. I just never realized it before. Like, people have never really wanted to be within 6 feet of me. Even my mom. I always thought it was because I kind of had a little bit of a body odor problem and I really don't like taking showers, but I think I might be a carrier. I think I might be patient number 0. This might be where I came from. So, in order to protect you and protect the ranch and really protect everybody, I have been living here in my own little bunker for the last few weeks. It's probably why you haven't heard much from me, because the only way I can get really good reception down here is if I open up my hatch, let a little light in. But I don't like doing it for too long. So anyway, this is where I've been staying. The Airbnb has been filled up with some people from somewhere, I don't know where, and I've been living here. Truth be told, it was Erin's idea. She thought this would be a great place for me to isolate myself from everybody. Man, she's smart. And a good cook too, I hear anyway. She hasn't really made anything for me yet, but I still got my Funyuns, and I got my Mountain Dew, even though I'm down to my last one, and my last bag of Funyuns. You know, I kind of think this Bud Light, Corona, Michelob Ultra 19 thing. Oh, it's Corona. Corona. I don't really like Corona because it's got the lime in it, and the lime makes me pucker up. Anyway, I think that since I'm down to my last Mountain Dew, my last bag of Funyuns, it might be time for me to go out and get back to work and face the world. H-E double hockey sticks to social distancing. Love one another. Pretend it's the 60s. Or every other Thursday at my mom's house. I think he's my stepdad. Anyway, I'm gonna go back out to work. Hopefully Erin will cook for me. And let's get to it. No time like the present. Well, maybe, just maybe, it's time to get back to work. You know why? Because I'm the armchair rancher. Maybe tomorrow.
From his keyboard, he doesn't even have to move. He's the armchair rancher, and he already knows more than you.
If that kid gets back to work, I don't know if it's actually good or bad. It's kind of been nice, like not having to deal with that whole side of things. But get him out fixing fence or something. He could work in the garden, literally. Like he could pull
Everything?
He could pull everything. Yeah, just put him somewhere where there's no weeds, no plants. Just be like, go mow this grass with your hands. That might be. Here's a pair of scissors. Go mow the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. Somebody said the volume is low. Let's take a look here and see if we can get this going a little bit for you guys.
Now someone's going to say it's too loud.
It's too loud. Yeah, that's usually what happens. Sound low. See, everybody's saying the sound is low.
Did you mess with it?
Yeah, because I got a warning. So, anyway, they say the sound is now better. So, thankfully. I actually got a warning that said audio peak warning, adjust audio mixer to avoid blowing people's eardrums out. That comes later in today's show. Calving's going good. We have been, see, now it's too loud. Everybody's got a volume on their thing, right? Like TVs still come with volumes, computers still come with a volume knob. They do. I'm just checking. I didn't make sure there was nothing that had changed in the world of electronics. Calving's still going on. We are now at 85 calves on the ranch. We have about 25, 30 left to go, and this is the time of year that drives me crazy because there's no like rhyme or reason.
Yeah, it slows down.
It slows down. So you go from having, 10, 5, 10 calves a day, to now we have like this one, like for the last 3 days, it's been 1 calf a day.
Yeah.
It's been like,
But then you'll have a day where you'll have 6 or 7 again.
Right, yeah, it'll happen again.
But you just don't know what day that's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, 85 calves on the ground now. Obviously, we still have 2 in our yard. We have Peanut and Goliath still in our yard. Goliath.
They go back and forth.
Yeah, they actually go every night. They go into the barn, or if it starts to rain, which we've had some decent rain
It
here.
was such
in
a
the last few
pain
days.
last night.
When it was raining,
Yes.
trying to get them to move. They didn't like the rain. The rain scared them. I mean, obviously, that's what I think was going on. Like
It wouldn't move.
no, it was freaky. They'd never seen rain before. So if you've never seen rain before, I mean, it'd be like the sky is falling. What is happening here? So, buddy, thank you for the $2 super chat. You can do the next one. Buy the Armchair Rancher a Mountain Dew.
Bradley Holland, thank you for the $9.99. Yeah, the Armchair Rancher was a good one. Although he seems sad. He needs some friends. He needs to get out of his bunker.
Yeah, I think this is a problem with social distancing as a whole, is that it's depressing, right? I mean, you don't see people that you would normally see. I think there's a lot of this now. It's starting to come around that people are like just saying, we have to go see somebody, or I have to be around somebody else besides my family or whatever else. But I mean, if you're at risk, obviously still stay home and be safe and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of taken people right up to that point where it's like, okay, enough is enough. I'm out of Mountain Dew. I'm out of Funyuns. It's time to come up for air.
Yeah, Wyoming East.
There was a whole bunch of symbolism going on, by the way, with the Armchair Rancher today. I don't know if anybody caught that, but it's a thinking man's video.
Wyoming did ease some restrictions on Friday, which is exciting. So we can definitely see the light at the end of the tunnel here in Wyoming. So gyms could open, salons and barbershops opened, and daycares. Some daycares.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
didn't
know if
about the daycare thing.
I don't know if all daycares are open. Can we enroll our kids in some daycare?
Probably could. I mean, like, go. I drove by a park yesterday, and parks are supposed to be like kind of closed.
Yeah.
Right. This park was not closed. I drove by and it was packed. I mean,
yeah. Well, it's been super nice. Like it's
Yeah.
been unseasonably warm, and so yeah, I think people are out and about and stuff. But like restaurants are still like now you can go into restaurants to pick up. You don't have to stay outside.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you don't watch the news. No, you're not too busy. You have time to play your golf game on your phone.
I do.
Stuff.
I've been addicted to this stupid golf game. Drives me nuts. I hate golf. I don't play golf.
Don't say I don't have time to watch the news.
I have to try to make a hole in one. That's my whole
I know.
point.
It's like, why are you don't play golf, so why do you play it on your phone? So a few things are starting to open back up, which is nice. We're starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Still some retail is closed. Restaurants are closed for dine-in.
At least we're not in Oregon. Oregon's closed until
July.
Like,
they're like, if you live in Oregon, you guys need to have a revolution or something. I mean,
don't say that, Jesus.
That's a bit.
You can get in trouble for that.
That's a bit long.
That's a long time. I mean, even now, it's just to the point where it's like I said, it's gotten to the point where it's like I'm gonna just go. I need something. I'm gonna go to town and get it. Like if it's open, you need shoes, and like the shoe store is not open. And who wants to buy shoes on the internet, right? Because you're going to get them and they're going to be like, clown shoes.
I mean, I know what size I wear, but
you wear a different size in every shoe. I wear a different boot if it's Ariat compared to.
Yeah.
That's really all I wear. But if it's
I'm tired. I'm so tired.
You need a nap. Here.
I do.
Here. Just take a little nap. I'll carry it.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know when retail is going to open back up, and some of it's like corporate and stuff. Like obviously, like Hobby Lobby's open.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
I don't know.
What is how is the essential?
What's up to like our governor put in?
I mean, really, I have to do finger paints. Hobby Lobby has to be open. I have to do my finger painting.
I don't know. I mean, it's the governor essentially turned it over to our counties to make their decisions. So I think it's up to the counties and the city and the sheriff, I guess, to enforce it. I do know some people, like liquor bars are not open, and there's been quite the controversy about that.
Oh, well, luckily they make big ones of these.
Carry out still.
Yeah, carry out's still open. Michigan was protesting and showed up with guns. I saw that on the news. I do watch a little bit of news. If it pops up on Reddit, I see it. And I think I saw that on Reddit. But yeah, it's different in every single state. Obviously,
Yes.
each state is different based on how things are going. And we did a PSA for our state, which we said stay home, be safe. And we do believe that if you're in at risk, or you're exposed, or you're around people that are at risk, yeah, use some common sense. I mean, that's what the PSA should have said.
Use common sense.
Use some common sense, and that should have been it. Could have been like
Yeah.
a 10-second PSA.
And I think, obviously we're still going to use social distancing when we're out and about.
Yeah, I think even once this is over with, I think we're still going to see signs that are like, stay 6 feet away from me. Or even like the plexiglass thing, like we were talking about that the other day, like those are popping, they're probably everywhere where you guys are at, but they're popping up here in Wyoming, and like, so like not the bank, where was I at? They had plexiglass. Like the grocery stores have plexiglass now. The post office has plexiglass. I got yelled at in the post office for not standing behind the plexiglass, by the way. I went to take a bunch of your guys' jerky, which I did not sneeze on, and put it up on the counter. And then, like, I got yelled at, to step behind the plexiglass. But that's the weird thing. Like, is the plexiglass ever going to come down? It's there forever, right? That's something we're going to deal with for the rest of our kids. That's going to be normal to them.
I think until there's a vaccine, and then I think some places will still have plexiglass.
No, they kind of built the infrastructure for it to be there, so who knows? But I don't know. Maybe they'll take it down and put it up every fall. Who knows? Who knows? So anyway, let's take a few questions and answers. Well, we'll take the questions and we'll try to give you answers before our special guests show up for the evening and we get a chance to talk about them a little bit. I did see something go by about the pickup. We're still, we have an update on that, but it is going to be in a video. Hopefully on Friday. On Friday's video will be an update on the pickup and kind of what's going on.
Still broken.
Yeah, it's still sitting out there. I brought it back. I mean, it's here. So we're hopefully going to have an update for that on Friday. Obviously, the ranch needs a pickup. We have to be able to haul trailers and stuff like that. So from Mark there at $4.99 super chat. Wait till you're allowed to go to the barbershop. I have shady.
You get allowed to go to the barbershop. Yes, we get. Yeah, we can.
But I cut my own hair, so.
Yeah. You do.
Are you going to go to the barbershop?
Yeah, when Ashley calls me when she can get me in.
Yeah, everybody's going to have this huge backlog happening now.
My mom gets to go on Friday.
Oh, really?
Next Friday.
Wow.
So.
Yeah, crazy.
Oh, did you want to do your calving video?
Oh, yeah.
Your calf video?
Yeah, we could talk, since we were talking about calves. Mackenzie, and if you follow us on Facebook, which I'm sure you all do, you've probably seen this video already.
I'm sure they all don't.
That's reverse psychology, right? You're like, oh,
I just call them out.
You just be like, go over to the Facebook assist, push the like button or the follow button or whatever you
Or
get.
Instagram.
Yeah, or Instagram. We bring the calves over to the yard every single morning, the 2 bottle calves that we have right now, Goliath and Peanut, and they get a chance to hang out in the yard. And this morning, Mackenzie got to play with them a little bit.
Hey, we're back.
All right, we're back. I was reading a comment. What's it like? What it's like talking about your lives, the truck, Goliath, Runt, High Tunnel, Peanut.
Invasive.
Do you feel? I mean, we've been doing it for 3 years now, so. I mean, it's almost second nature to. Like I said in the beginning, though, I do get that occasionally where somebody will come up to me and they'll say, how's Runt doing, or how's Peanut doing, and it takes me a second to click through my mind, like, how the hell would they know that? And then I'm like, oh crap, yeah, because we put it on the internet and everybody knows it. Anybody who wants to know it knows it. Anyone who wants to know it knows it.
Yeah.
But that actually brings me to my next point. Thank you very much, J.P. Merrick, for helping me make a little transition here. Talking about the video that came out on Friday, the COVID beef, short supply, broken food chain, all that kind of stuff. If you haven't had a chance yet, go over to All Things Agriculture, since we're talking about Facebook, and sign up for All Things Agriculture. Get on that page. We've had almost 500 new members to that Facebook group in the last couple of days. And the big reason behind that is a post that we have running there, which is basically just people asking, where can I buy local food? Where can I buy local pork? Where can I get beef? That kind of stuff. in my area, which is really cool. And people are coming in and they're answering that and they're searching through this. We're actually talking about now maybe putting together some sort of like a list where somebody's going to go through that post.
No, that's not our job.
But somebody could. I mean, and then we could post that so that people could find that. I think that a lot of people just don't know where
There
to go.
is a USDA list.
It's on there. I post. But the
It's
problem with
super
that
outdated.
list is it's way outdated and people have to submit themselves to be on it.
Yeah, but so this is the problem with it. So we've discussed this at length of like putting together like a local producer directory to some extent. Our Wyoming Business Council has done it. Grown in Wyoming has done it. Our Farmers Market Association tried to do it. The problem with these databases and stuff is like you get people to sign up, but then like things change, hours change, you know.
That's totally fine, and that's why.
And it becomes very outdated unless you have somebody that can call and check in with these businesses, these farmers, because farmers forget.
Well,
oh yeah, I'm on this database. I have to update it.
Well,
I don't think it's our job to create a database.
I don't think it's our job at all, but I think on Facebook it is nice to have that group on Facebook where people can go in and ask, you know, I live in Tallahassee and I want to get sassy with some asparagus, and where can I find that? You know, and so they can put that on there, and somebody, and 9 times out of 10 there's thousands of people on there, and they're able to come in and say hi. The more people, the more people, the better. To be able to direct people in the right direction.
I agree.
Put people in the right direction. So,
but there is a USDA database. It's not very good, but you can try searching that.
You can, and there's a link for it on that post as well. But the interesting thing about that video, you know, it's got a ton of shares on Facebook, and if you haven't seen it on Facebook, go share it on Facebook, even though you watched it on YouTube. But it's how many people still like are just. They say to me, they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize that all of our beef that we have in the U.S. doesn't come from the U.S."
Yeah, I mean,
is that?
We've made 3 videos about country of origin, essentially now.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's been well received, but yeah, it's still, you know, and obviously new people are coming to the channel every day and stuff, and so like, if you've seen all 3 of them, like, unfortunately, we're not going to quit making videos about the issue until the issue is resolved.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it's frustrating that we like continually have to like bring this issue up because it's not resolved. But here's super chat.
$20 super chat there from Mr. Steve Cameron. Is going to be the Cracker Jack of future piglets. We talked about that. Like, I don't know if he could actually go in with piglets. I don't think that would. I don't know
until they're
He's
like
still free
today.
That's nice.
Well, I'm just telling the truth.
Tell your story about how you thought Runt was
dead. He's like
dead.
in the barn next to the lawnmower in his like usual spot, and I like walked over to check on him today, and like I just couldn't see him breathing, and I just like stood there for a second. I was like, great, the kids are gonna be so mad. I'm gonna have to call Mike and be like, Runt's dead. And I was like, why did he die? You know? And I was like, I'm gonna have to poke him. So I like walked over to him and just tapped him with my foot. He was not dead.
He's not. He's fine. All right. So, I was talking about Runt, like him being a free range type of situation. He's now basically just wandering around wherever he wants, and he looks like a wolf. Like
he's so fuzzy.
He's so hairy. I got to get another picture of him online.
He looks like a dirty old man, kind of.
He's out wandering around the other night, and it was kind of like little dusk, you know, and I'm out putting in peacocks or whatever it was that I was doing, and he scared the crap. I didn't know what he was. I thought he was literally. I thought it was a wolf or a coyote or something standing by the barn, and you know, he just turns around and looks at you the way he like, you know, he just kind of looks at you and wanders off, you know, kind of thing. Once he, you know, then I figured out what it was, but scared the crap out of me. But you know, that's how it works.
Yeah, he doesn't move much, so.
All right, let's take a couple questions here, and then we're going to bring in our special guests for the evening. I still have to go clean the shop tonight, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
That's okay.
Yeah, because I have to pick produce tomorrow.
Yeah, this will make it more tolerable. All right, Cowgirl Mouse 2010. Hey, from Casper. Excited to find this channel and about this life so close to home. Yeah, no doubt. You're right there in Casper.
Thanks for being here.
That's right around the corner from us. Do you think about the cows being imported to the States now? That's not good. I mean, Cliff, by the way, thanks for coming and hanging out with you. I don't know if I've ever seen Cliff at a live stream before. It's, you know, when we talk about country of origin labeling and that kind of stuff, if you get, I honestly believe, and there's definitely different ways to look at this, and you'll hear about it, but some people say the country of origin labeling doesn't make a difference. They're looking at stats from back in the 80s and 90s when they got rid of country of origin labeling, and they're saying it doesn't make a difference.
I thought I got rid of it in 2015.
Well, whenever it was, I don't know. It's been back and forth a few times.
Okay.
So, some people say it didn't make a difference in the American consumers' decision making when they're standing there at the beef counter. But my biggest thing that I always have to ask is, why is it beef and pork? Chicken still requires country of origin labeling. Now, if you follow the dollar,
Produce
requires it as well. So, but if you follow the dollar, beef and pork, then those are your big money products. Chicken, produce, asparagus, whatever. Kale. Kale's like way down there. They actually pay you to take kale. If you go to the grocery store and get some kale, they will give you money when you go to checkout. But yeah, so why would it be beef and pork and not these other products,
because
or T-shirts,
there's
or whatever
money to
else?
be made.
There's money to be made on it. That's what it always comes back to me for me. Is as many people as I see, the NCBA, other YouTubers, whoever that are arguing against MCool. I see that it just comes down to one simple thing, and it's like, why, if it's not mandatory for these products, why is it mandatory for these other ones? Mm-hmm. If you're just get rid of it altogether, fine, get rid of it, just be done with it.
Yeah.
But you can't pick and choose. You can't come in and cherry pick what you want to deal with and what you don't want to deal with. And yeah, I was going to say something different, but yeah, it's definitely a situation that I think it makes a difference. If you had a choice between when you went into the grocery store and you picked up 2 packages of hamburger, and there was 75 cents difference between these 2 packages of hamburger, and one said born, raised in Nambia, and one said born and raised in United States, I would hope that you would pick the United States one.
I think the problem is the USDA shield, because the meat's still USDA inspected. It's misleading, and so the consumer is assuming that shield means that it's U.S. born and raised and processed, and it's just going to have to come down to continuous education on the consumer's part, and obviously with the meat shortage and everything. Really, we just need to quit buying meat from grocery stores, and we need to buy more stuff from farmers and ranchers. So. And
there's nothing wrong with putting, if you package your own beef, you can say, and if it's sold in grocery stores, you can put on there, made in the USA, born and raised. You can do that. That's totally fine. The problem is that it's not mandatory, it's not required, and I feel like it should be, because you can't cherry pick. You can't pick your battles. And you can't show favoritism against one industry as opposed to another.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of good things that are possibly going to come out of this whole coronavirus crap. One of them is the prime meat deal, which is where they're talking about you can basically, the big thing is that for us to sell our beef directly to a consumer, if you're going to come and buy one steak from us, it has to be USDA inspected. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, that's not right.
No.
To sell across state lines, like our beef jerky, that has to be USDA inspected. Wyoming does have a state meat inspection program. Most states have a state meat inspection program. So there's basically 3 tiers of processors in Wyoming. There's USDA, there's state inspected, and there's custom exempt. Custom exempt, you cannot sell individual cuts. You can sell down to an 1/8. Right now, currently under current legislation, you can sell down to an 1/8. All the names just have to be on the brand inspection. And then, because the state inspected, you can sell individual cuts, but it cannot cross state lines. It has to be for Wyoming consumption. Only USDA.
Really, you can't come over here and buy it and take it.
Yeah, that you can. The transaction has to happen in Wyoming.
Gotcha.
So we couldn't, if we went to a state inspected plant for beef jerky, we could sell that within Wyoming, but we couldn't sell it outside of Wyoming. And then there's USDA plants, which allow you to sell it to anywhere in the United States.
Wherever you want, which is what we have to do for beef jerky, and which we do for our
All of
basically
our meat.
everything we have
Yeah.
because we want to protect the consumer as much as possible. But the prime meat law is basically going to state that anybody can process meat and sell it directly to the consumer throughout this crisis because.
And that's
like
going to be
we're
a temporary thing.
Yeah, because like we're talking about, like rather than let them go to waste, if you can go and butcher it and sell it yourself, or supply meat, then why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So.
And then on-farm processing is not allowed in Wyoming, so I can't slaughter and sell you anything here on the ranch. Can't sell you a half, a whole, a cut, nothing. Like that's on-farm processing is not allowed. I can sell you a live animal and you can take it and do whatever you want to. You and some neighbors can get together and do whatever you want to. I, as the seller, cannot do that.
Right. Quinn asked where the Beef and Pork Councils fall in MCOOL. Well, they are lobbyists, so that might tell you where they fall.
Depends on the organization.
It does, but you look at NCBA, which is the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, or whatever the heck it stands for. They are anti-cool, which drives me crazy. They're the beef checkoff people,
Yeah.
They are anti-cool, and I cannot figure out why. Scott asked, can I can get your beef jerky shipped within the U.S. and I can bring it across the border, but can you ship it here? So we can't ship outside of the U.S. because it would have to be inspected again, right?
Yeah, it's just our processor doesn't. It's different for international shipping. Even to Canada, it's different, and then it would also have to go into an FSIS warehouse, essentially, or system, and so there's more tracking and stuff that has to be applied to it. Unfortunately, like make a friend across the border and come down and get jerky.
Yeah. Or we could do well, there's other ways around that. We can give you a gift of beef jerky if you
but that gets tricky.
Donate $50 to the cause, and we'll give you a gift of beef jerky, even though you live in wherever.
Yeah,
we can do that.
We could do it, but the more that we would do it, I mean, really, I think we're just playing with
somebody
fire.
eventually would pay attention to that.
Yeah.
Our new friend here from Casper. The cowgirl mouse, it's real life. I would much rather buy my beef from them than the supermarket. And we see that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like how real Mike gets. I get myself in trouble by being really, we've gotten to the point where we can't sell cows anymore because everybody hates me. So,
JB, thank you for the super chat. I believe the government looks at the finished product. The constituent parts may come from Mexico or China, but the finished product is American. I think that was you're up against with Cool.
That's basically what it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
but I don't think cutting up there's an art form to butchering. I'm not saying that there's not, but in an industrial factory type setting, like that's nothing about that is American made. So we're just going to keep fighting for Cool.
And people know that when you buy a Ford F-150 pickup, I mean, it has a bunch of parts in it that are not American made, but you're buying from an American company. So, I don't know. 6 of one and a half dozen of the other. Dominic Jones, seems everybody's buying livestock due to meat prices. Do you think this will affect future prices for ranchers? Yes.
But not really, though, because it's a very small percentage of the population that can afford to go buy half a beef.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about farmers and ranchers buying. But yeah, if everybody's buying, if you're buying meat, if you're buying livestock to feed yourself, more power to you.
The thing that we're most concerned about is if this bottleneck that's happening within the processing system right now, if meat can't get processed, if they don't get this straightened out, then feedlots aren't going to take as many calves in the fall or the first of the year, and so we're not going to be able to sell our calves.
Right.
So that's our concern. I think it's great that so many people are looking for local meat and buying bulk portions and stuff and halves and wholes and stuff, but not everybody can afford that. There's lots of people that can only afford to buy a pound of hamburger, or buy 2 weeks worth of food, a week's worth of food at one time.
We need to do? We need to make a video. What's that stuff you get at the grocery store that's in the tube?
Is that hamburger?
Is that actually hamburger? I don't know. It looks like hamburger. I don't even know. We should do a side-by-side comparison.
There's just a lot of filler in it. I mean, same thing with pork and chicken. It's all injected with salt water and stuff.
What was the thing you were telling me, too, about with the chicken industry right now, and we'll get back to normal life here in a minute, but with the chicken industry right now, one of the biggest obstacles right now with the chickens is nobody knows how to cook a damn chicken.
Yeah, so that's a big problem, too, is that, and it's with everything, too, a lot of Americans eat only ground beef and stuff, and so, when we're not going out to restaurants, is there a surplus of steaks now and stuff? I mean, it was the same thing with milk. The milk shortage was because there was less bulk consumption and less, school lunch consumption and stuff, right. So, gallon jugs were not as readily available. so we eat a lot of boneless, pressed and formed chicken in this country, chicken nuggets, chicken patty sandwiches and stuff. So that is if a deboning facility gets closed down because of COVID, that's going to create a supply and demand problem there too. So
Right. Really quickly, let's talk about the bottle.
Really quickly, let's say thank you, Mark, for your $14.99 donation to repair or replacement of your truck. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Let's really quickly talk about the processing bottleneck. I saw a couple questions come across about that. The bottleneck that's happening right now in processing is that, number one, there's not enough workers to process. So
it's a skilled task force.
yeah, it's not just I couldn't do it. Trust me. I mean, Erin and I were talking about yesterday. If we could go and butcher a cow right now, I would literally butcher it. I mean,
yeah.
I would butcher the butchering. But I mean, it's a skilled trade. So as COVID takes down people, or the Corona vacation takes down people, and they're not able to work, then obviously they can't process as many animals, which then will drive the consumer's price up because it's supply and demand, right? So they can't supply as much, demand goes up, price goes up. So your price on your end goes up. On our end, our price goes down because now we have a glut. We have a surplus of animals because they can't get them into the processing facility fast enough. That brings our price down. That's why the price of beef right now is half of what it was just a year ago, not even a year ago, 4 months ago at this time.
The processors are manipulating the feeder calf price.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And this has been happening. We were talking about it last year when we were selling calves. That's why we weaned calves and didn't sell in October.
Yeah.
JB, thank you for the super chat. Can you sell halves or quarter live animals to local restaurants? Possibly listing the local ranch of origin on menus could help diners track their food. No. It has to go through, I mean, it would just have to go through a USDA facility.
Yeah. And that's one thing that we've always went around about because, Erin could sell produce to a local, you could sell lettuce to a local
Yeah, I can
restaurant.
sell produce.
Right. So if you sell lettuce to a restaurant, are they going to put on the menu, hey, this lettuce was grown right here, and are people going to give a crap? Really, I mean, how many times have you went in to have a salad and you're like, excuse me, waiter, where did this salad come from? I would like to know where this was grown. Nobody cares. So it's kind of a shoot yourself in the foot kind of situation.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, so anything that goes into a restaurant in Wyoming has to go through USDA processing or the state inspected processors. So
I honestly would like to try some pink slime hamburger. I don't know why. It'd probably kill me.
It's no different than McDonald's.
Really?
Well, I would assume.
I don't know. I don't know. I just want to see it from beginning to end. Alrighty, we probably shouldn't be talking about this though because we have very sensitive ears in the house. And speaking of sensitive ears, if you're wearing headphones right now, you might want to turn them down just a little bit.
Just turn down your volume to begin with.
Yeah, turn down your volume maybe just a little bit because we have two special guests that are here with us this evening, and they are newcomers to the ranch. You're going to get to know them on Tuesday, but we're giving you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. This is not them. This is actually their food, but I thought they might be kind of hungry. They've been hanging out with us for the entire live stream here, and in fact, about a half an hour before the live stream, they were living down in our sink where they were able to do their business and not make a huge mess. But they've been here the whole time. They've been very polite, very quiet, very anti the name, really. They have not been at all piggish, have they? We brought in some baby piglets. I don't know. They are very quiet. And they're going to poop on me, I guarantee.
Yeah,
you want to hold one?
Nope.
No, not at all. I brought two. I brought one for you.
I'm good.
You sure? Okay.
It's going to poop.
It will, but let's do that double mint commercial and double our fun.
Well, they didn't squeal.
No, they are very quiet.
Right.
These are two of the new piglets that are living here on the ranch. They just arrived yesterday. You'll get to meet all of them on Tuesday. In Tuesday's videos, we take a look at some of the little newcomers to the ranch. But they are American Yorkshire.
Do you want to stand?
I don't think they're hungry. No. They're shaking.
So
they're like shivering.
It might be cold up here for them too.
Oh, maybe the air conditioner is running. These guys are American Yorkshire pigs. We found a new supplier. We had a heck of a time finding some place to get pigs.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
I mean, we just had a hard time finding the quantity that we needed. We did 15.
They are not sedated, by the way.
No, they're not.
They're just really mellow right now.
Chill. yeah, so we upped from 10 to 15, and so I had a hard time finding the supplier or the quantity, and then also a price. And so, like we talked about last week, I'm fine with paying a fair price for piglets. These guys were probably on the lower side of what they should. We paid $35. It's up to each farmer, obviously, to decide their price and stuff. I've never paid more than $75 for a wiener piglet in this area, and we saw a lot that were priced at like $120. And I just couldn't afford to do that because we would have had to press that price onto our consumer, and I already think our pork is kind of expensive. So, yeah, so you went over to South Dakota.
Yeah, I went to Hot Springs, South Dakota. To pick up these little guys.
They're the tiniest piglets we've ever got. They are like 10 to 15 pounds.
Says, what the hell are you doing?
Sedated. Yeah, they were sleeping. So, yeah, they look great. They're adjusting very well to the barn, and they're cute little piggies.
Yeah, these little guys will.
They're all pink.
Every single one of them, they all look the same. Yeah. These guys will live in the barn for the next couple months, maybe a month or so before they get moved outside into the big area. But you know, this is where it starts, and it's kind of you know, there's that whole, you know, it can be sad, you know, and I've had, oh, they're so cute, and you know, and everything else. But you know, just like everything else on the ranch, myself included, we all have a purpose and a reason that we're here. And these guys, while they may not understand it, there's definitely a reason behind it. So these guys will serve their time here on the ranch, and these ones will be famous. Maybe. Does anybody want a close-up? Has anybody never seen a baby pig in their life? Because they're really cute.
They're so cute.
Yeah. When you sure you don't want to hold one?
Yeah, I mean, I've held them.
I know, but they're very mellow.
When you unloaded them, it's just like, oh, they're so little.
They are very little. So this is
very stinky. I mean, they do just stink.
This is, you're okay.
He's gonna hide.
He is gonna hide. Like, I don't want to look at the camera. The camera's that way. Look at the camera. Here. Pretty close up. You know the biggest thing that freaks me out about pigs?
They are strong, Cindy. Yeah.
They have people eyes. Like, they don't have, you know, like if you look at their eyes, they have like, you know, like pupils, and just like people eye. Like when they look at you, it's a little disconcerting. But
this one's cold.
Yeah. They are kind of chilly.
The air conditioner, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids were super excited.
Yeah.
Lincoln, you guys will see tomorrow's video, Tuesday's video. Like the girls all like pet, you know, like Mike was holding one and petting, and you'll just have to see how Lincoln pets a pig.
Yeah,
it's
Lincoln's
quite cute.
Like, I'm gonna pet the pig, and it was a very, very quick pet. So.
Some people have asked about pork jerky. Sturgis Meats, where we do all of our processing, they don't do pork jerky.
They don't do pork jerky? I was going to ask him about. I didn't know that. I was going to ask about that.
And Roger says, he's like, I could do it. You know, he's like, I have a recipe and stuff. But he's like, we just don't. He's like, I have to say no sometimes. Like, there's only so many products that they can do, and I understand that. So
when I was picking up these guys, I talked to Rob, who is one of the head honchos there, and we were talking about pork jerky. But he mentioned that they did turkey jerky. Which is not only apparently really good, it also rhymes. Turkey jerky, and it was made with like some sort of like whiskey.
Oh, interesting.
They said it was really, really good. So.
Are the kids gonna name them? They all look like this. Like there's no distinction between like there's one that's like
there's one that has a brown nose.
Yeah,
he's like a brown noser.
Two with brown nose, and like one kind of has like a few spots.
Got your nose.
But you really can't tell them apart. There's like little ones and there's like a couple bigger ones, but there's no way that they're going to be able to name them. So
I thought we'd bring them up for live stream just because in a few months they are not going to be able to come up here for a live stream.
In a few weeks.
Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting perspective to see, you know, them up here like this, and then, you know, within a few weeks they'll be definitely putting on a lot of weight. We did get a new pig feeder, which you might have caught if you were watching the 30 and 30. We got a new pig feeder that was during the 24-hour live stream. That we got the new pig feeder, so we can now load up a ton of pig food, which we're going to start buying in bulk, and we're going to actually start doing that with a lot of our stuff. So it'll be, the ranch is changing. I kind of feel that that coming? Like with coronavirus and what did the armchair rancher call it?
Bud Light.
Bud Light or whatever he called it. I do feel like, I think that agriculture has to change. You have to make, just like I was talking about in the video on Friday, like when you're backed up against the wall, the only thing you can do is come out fighting, or else you just roll over and die.
Yeah, if you guys get our the herd report, like last Monday's herd report was a letter that we essentially wrote, like promising that like we're going to do everything we can to grow and raise as much food as we can here on the ranch for our community. And it's funny, like some stuff like I put into place before coronavirus even happened, like asparagus and stuff, right? Like nobody in a home garden setting has 300 crowns of asparagus, right? But see, I was smart. So
we're all gonna subside on asparagus.
But I mean, 10 years ago we started this journey, and this year, like I do feel even more pressure than normal to grow and raise more food, and so we're planning that, we're working on that, like we're actively taking steps to make those promises reality, and like doing 15 pigs instead of 10 is one. Meat chickens are coming to the ranch in August.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you were going to talk about
more
meat chicken.
laying hens.
We're
going
to get into the meat chicken business, which is a new venture for us.
Yeah.
Really quick though, thank you very much
Thanks,
for the super chat there, Zach. Just because of that, I'm going to name this pig after you.
You don't know which one that is, though.
Well, it's a boy. So this is the new Zach. Oh, he's feisty, just like Zach. We'll call this one Zach. They do have tattoos. I don't know if there's a difference between the tattoos. Maybe that'd be a good way to keep them straight.
I can't really read this one's tattoo.
Thank you, Zach.
Okay.
We appreciate it. No, we're doing meat chickens this fall too for the very first time, and we're going to bring you guys along.
Okay.
You're getting kind of riled up.
Yeah.
Here,
He's chilly. He needs to go out in the other room. Oh, God.
okay, well, I got pooped on. Oh, yeah,
It's
that's
on the
smelly.
couch, man.
Oh, there you go. Get in there. Oh, yeah, that's gross.
I'll get you some paper towels.
We knew it was going to happen eventually. Wait until I see if I wouldn't have picked them up and wanted to put them away, we wouldn't have had this issue. I got squirted on.
I told you. This is a perfect. I told you so.
Yeah. There's further proof that this whole thing happens live right in front of you.
You're gonna have to shampoo
or else I
the
would have
couch.
edited that out. It is on the couch too. Trust me, guys.
You're shampooing the couch tonight.
Oh yeah, I'll do that. Actually, when I told Erin that I wanted to, way to go, Zach. Yeah, damn it. When I talked about bringing pigs up here for the live stream, I'm pretty sure Erin said I was crazy.
It smells lovely.
Doesn't it though? It's beautiful. Smells like farm.
Pigs have a distinct odor, though.
They do. Pigs get to the point where, like, as they grow up, where's that mask at? I need a respirator. This is why.
Good thing it's almost 7.
Yeah, we only have 8 minutes left to go. Yes, Zach pooped on me. Thank you very much, Zach.
JB Weld, thank you for the super chat. I think it was. Can you scroll?
Yeah.
It was about poultry. Is poultry subject to the same USDA sales rules? So you can process. Poultry has a federal poultry exemption.
Poultry apparently has better lobbyists than the beef industry does.
So you can process 999 birds a year on farm and sell direct to consumer. Can't go to restaurants, can't go to grocery stores. Direct to consumer, though.
But you can't make chicken nuggets.
No, it's raw. It's a raw agricultural product.
Like a whole chicken.
It's a frozen or refrigerated processed chicken.
How many people know what to do with a whole chicken anymore?
Well, they're gonna find out.
Well, geez. Wow.
No, I mean,
Just
there's
lay down the law,
There's
sister.
definitely plenty of people that want whole chicken. I can't even cut it in half. Like, I literally can only do whole chickens. There in a lot of states, there's like mobile poultry processing. I know we don't have one in our area. I don't know what Wyoming's rules and regulations are about mobile chicken processing. But that is an option. Or we could probably, the chicken processing laws are not as stringent as beef and pork and stuff. So you can get, you can do kitchens essentially are processing for poultry a little easier than beef or pork.
Oh, okay.
So.
I still think that poultry has a better lobbyist than
Yeah,
than
no, I
beef
agree.
does,
Yeah, because
apparently.
you can sell eggs. Eggs can't go to restaurants, but eggs can go into retail stores from farms. There are a few rules and stuff that you have to follow, some labeling. And
Which
then,
actually, now this is nothing against chickens, but if you've ever been around chickens, you've ever owned chickens, you think they would have the most stringent laws
so
on
gross.
chickens. They're disgusting. They're just dirty little animals.
Yeah.
They eat anything. They poop on everything, but it's fine. You know, a
Yeah.
cow, who maybe not the cleanest animal in the world, but like I don't
Pigs
know.
are gross too, though.
Pigs are kind of disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, it's poultry's just different. Everything's different. Food law is extremely complicated. It's extremely convoluted. For all the great suggestions that show up in the comment section, like I can almost for every single one of those, like there is a rule against a lot of it. Even in Wyoming, where we have food freedom, things like meat is still very highly like federally regulated, and states can't get around that. Even though Wyoming is trying. Yeah, it's just
What kind of chickens are you getting?
jumbo Cornish, I don't know, the white, fast-growing ones. That's all that was left.
Okay.
Because we were not planning on doing this.
We don't. No, we weren't. And supply and demand there once again.
Steve
but
Cameron had a super chat.
Steve had a super chat. Did he
Yeah.
really? Where'd he go?
Zach.
Zach needs an ear tag now. Yeah, no doubt. We could ear tag the pigs. That'd be a way to keep
Why?
them straight. So you're doing these Cornish
And then JB Wald had a super chat too. Did we
my
answer
gosh.
that one?
rotisserie. That's what you do with a whole chicken.
Yeah. Yeah, Cornish cross. That's we ordered 350.
I think that when we get to the point where we're doing chickens, you need to make like a series of videos that's just like how to cook your chicken. And not even really for, it could be for the channel, but it could be for people that are buying chickens. Because I think, I wouldn't know how to cook a damn chicken.
You don't know how to cook anything.
I worked at KFC for an entire summer. I'll tell you what, I could cut the hell out of a chicken and then put it in that big thing that looked like a pressure washer or pressure cooker thing. But yeah, there's definitely, different ways to cook a whole chicken.
Yeah.
You've done one video on actually how to
I mean, there's a
you
million
did
chicken
the
recipes.
chicken. You did
There's
the
a
chicken
million
thing.
chicken recipes out there.
But you did one already. That's what I'm trying to get to. You made it. You made the old-fashioned fried chicken. Old-fashioned fried chicken. Yeah, you did that. Thank you, Dr.
Thank
Dixon.
you, Dr. Dixon.
So we are going to actually end up processing them ourselves.
Yeah, I'm not. So we ordered 350. I am going to do pre-sales at some point. I don't know how many I'm going to sell. We're going to keep some for ourselves, and then I'm going to anticipate a large mortality rate just because we don't know what we're doing. And meat chickens are different than laying hens.
Right.
And
They
so,
actually won't live in the chicken house. That's
No.
They'll have their own area. They'll be fenced in. They'll still be able to get out and run and move and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're hoping to find a company that makes a chicken plucker that would like us to test it or whatever else we can do there to be able to use some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Or if not, we'll just go buy one.
Buy
if
one.
we have to buy
We
one,
have to
buy
figure
one.
out cooling
But-
and refrigerating and freezing and how many we can do in a day.
There is a big learning curve here, and you're going to see that happen as we move through this. Pigs, obviously, we ramped up in pigs. We went from 10 pigs to 15 pigs, which may not seem like a lot, but when it comes down to feeding pigs, there's definitely a difference between 5 pigs, I think. JoJo's 4x4, $25 super
Thank
chat. That's a
you.
new name. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And Kevin Snow, a new
Thank
sub
you.
from the 30 and 30. Love your channel. Always thought I wanted to be a rancher until I got a reality check from watching your vlogs.
So
If you could have, here's a dumb question, and I get this every once in a while. We came to the ranch not knowing what we were getting into, right? If you could have looked ahead 10 years in the future and said, this is what you're gonna, now leave out the YouTube stuff, because I think that would have sold me. Like if I would have looked forward and said, hey, we're gonna be helping people learn, and I would have done it just for that reason.
oh, not me.
But if you could have looked forward even just to now and said, okay, this is what this is what is in store for you. What if you just said, you know what, I'll just go work at Taco Bell. I'm good.
No, I love farming. Like we were talking about that just a couple weeks ago. What do you like the most? And I feel pulled in a million other directions where I don't get to spend as much time farming, and that's what I really enjoy. Except for I'm super 300 asparagus in 2 days without a trencher. poor choice. But
You had a trencher. It was me.
yeah, I
trenched
dug
today.
3 of the 5 trenches by myself.
I did 2 though.
Use the box truck and add a refrigeration unit and a mobile freezer. Yeah,
We're actually looking at. They haven't called me back. There was a company in Denver that had like those walk-in freezers that we could like put one in the shop.
Yeah.
And I have to call them again because they never got a hold of me.
At least I would like a walk-in refrigerator. I don't know what we're gonna do, but they're coming. They're not coming till like the later part of August. They're a 6 to 8 week turnaround, and this is why we're doing meat chickens. I can't do anything about beef, right? Like our next processing date is in August. Like I don't have any halves and wholes available. I just don't. If I sell all my halves and wholes, I have nothing in the farm store. So we have to balance what we need for our farm store customers versus halves and wholes. We've got calves that we kept back from last year that we can get on grain and get them going.
Everything's a year behind.
But like calves are being born now, and like I can't go make more calves, and these guys won't be ready to be, calves that are being born now, like it's a much slower turnaround. Chickens are 6 to 8 weeks. Like the problem I have to wait is because like had I known we were going to do meat chickens, I would have done a spring processing and a fall processing.
Bradley Holland, look at Tyler, or Farm Tyler Ranch. Yeah, I've actually watched his stuff. We talked to him a couple times.
Yeah.
Really nice guy. And there's so much stuff to learn. And obviously, you don't have to watch us to learn how to process a chicken. Of course, you're going to see us screw it up. But I think that there's so many good resources for all of this crap.
Yeah.
Whether it's the food supply system. I mean, go search for this stuff. I would never ever expect somebody to take my word for anything.
Yeah.
Maybe you. Probably not. But, I would never expect anybody to say, hey, Mike said that, so that's gospel, that's the law, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Like, anybody should go and research stuff for
Yeah, you
themselves,
should look
because
up-
I get stuff wrong all the time, trust me. But, like, you should, right? I mean, you should go out.
You guys should
whatever
research
it
the
is.
food system, and you'll see all the things that are wrong with it. But you'll understand why I can't just sell we can't cut up beef on the ranch.
Yeah. Justin Rhodes also does meat chickens.
Yeah.
I can't get past the barefoot kids running around, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and we're gonna make videos about it, and you'll get to see like what it's like doing meat chickens for the first time. Like we're gonna build them a different area. They're not gonna be with our laying hens. Like, and obviously we've raised chickens before, but meat chickens are different than laying hens. So,
Yeah.
and we'll just see how we do it. We're not gonna do chicken tractors because our grass doesn't. There will be not a stick of green grass in late August when they come.
Yep.
Chicken tractors are not an option for us that time of the year. We could do chicken tractors probably this time of the year, but I don't have meat chickens right now.
It's funny how many people are like, watch this guy, watch this guy. Watch Josh, Stony Ridge farmer. Well, I can text Josh if I need to. I mean, I don't really, honestly, to tell you the truth, I would not probably go watch another YouTuber to figure out how to do it. I would research it on my own, through, I'm not really a big video guy. I know that sounds weird, but I would do a lot of researching on my own, but everybody has their own way of doing things.
Yeah,
so.
and you guys are going to see our way of doing it, and
Yeah.
we're going to see what we like and what we don't like, and raise them the way that we want to raise them. So,
exactly.
And way too many chickens for a chicken tractor. We could have several chicken tractors, but there's no green grass in August. So they're going to go in a building at nighttime, and they will have access to the outside and looking at like poultry netting and stuff. But we're going to get into where like it's going to start snowing on them before they're ready to go. So our climate is much different than North Carolina.
Yeah, no
so
doubt.
we're not going to do it the same way. So you guys can tell us all day long to get chicken tractors and move them every 3 days. They will starve to death. So.
Yeah. Oh, it's just it's an interesting world that we live in, that's for sure. So that's pretty much it for us today. We want to thank you guys for hanging out with us. Of course, hanging out with our piggies and our crap machine. Zach.
You have to go get the shampooer.
I know, I'm going to have to do that.
Good thing we just used it the other day.
Didn't we just wash these?
Oh yeah, we can just take the covers
Yeah,
off.
you take
Although it probably soaked through.
Oh, well.
This is your problem to deal with.
This is my problem. So anyway, we have a new video. Oh, I didn't mean to touch with my dirty knee.
Oh, yeah.
We have a new video coming out on Tuesday. If you haven't caught on yet, we are continuing the vlog type of videos. Those happen on Tuesdays, Friday, could be anything. But we do have a new video coming on Tuesday. We're gonna follow along with Bambi as she has her calf, and also take a look at her calf as it's been growing. And the new piglets on the ranch, we're going to take a look at them, and a few other changes that have happened around here in the last few days. That's all coming up on Tuesday, and hopefully by Friday we can have you guys a truck update as well, and be able to know what's happening on that front. So we have a lot more coming up for you on Our Wyoming Life, more on Beyond the Ranch. If there's anything you're missing, feel free to send us an email. You can do that at mail at ourwyominglife.com. And send Erin an email. Tell her you want her to cook something. I don't know. What's for dinner?
I don't know.
Thank you very much for hanging out with us once again. Thank you to our moderators tonight, Matt Fensel, Lori Habel. I'm not going to thank Zach. William Dunn. Who did I miss? Was Bill the Tractor Man here? I didn't check it out and see if he was here. He's got a newborn. I wouldn't be surprised.
Tired.
He's probably more tired than you are. But thank you very much for hanging out with us once again. Go to the website, ourwyominglife.com. You can check out our webcam there. I would really like to get a camera set up in the barn and have a pig cam.
Horrible internet out there.
I know that. I need to figure out. I need like an IT guy. We have internet or a pig cam. We could have a calf cam.
It's not in the budget.
Not in the budget. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time right here on